House Speaker Mike Johnson is desperately trying to keep the federal government funded past the end of this month. But he was asked a question today by reporters if he would certify the 2024 election results even if Kamala Harris won. And in what seemed like an ominous threat, Mike Johnson's answer is not sitting well with a lot of people. Just wait until you hear what these Republicans are saying now. With the November 5th election just 40-some days away, Mike Johnson and the Republicans have a full plate of issues to deal with as they desperately attempt to hold on to their majority in the House of Representatives. And it seems like scandal after scandal are piling up, including a New York congressman named Anthony D'Esposito, who's in a desperate fight to keep his seat. There are now allegations that he put his lover, who he cheated on his wife with, on his congressional payroll. And Mike Johnson, being the strict, conservative, religious guy that he is, was asked for his thoughts on this situation.
Mr. Speaker, the New York Times reported yesterday, I'm sure you saw, that one of your members, Mr. D'Esposito of New York, reportedly was putting a family member as well as a woman with whom he was having an affair on the congressional payroll. Number one, was that wrong of him to do that? And number two, would you support an ethics investigation into the matter?
Look, I'm not going to make any detailed statement on this because I don't know the details. I've been very busy the last 48 hours or so. I'm aware that there's this issue out there and these allegations. I haven't had a chance yet to speak with Anthony. He did, I'm told this morning, come out with a statement that the allegations are untrue. It's a partisan hit piece. That would not surprise anyone in a tight election cycle in a seat that's hotly contested. But he's been a very strong advocate for his district. I've been up there a lot. I know the people of his district, and they are great champions of him and he of them. And so what we're focusing on right now is getting the government funding situation resolved and headed home to win the election, and that's where I'm going to leave that.
Looks like morals and ethics rules don't matter to Speaker Mike Johnson when it comes to defending his Republican colleagues in the House. And when reporters confronted Congressman D'Esposito about the allegations, he denied everything.
Is it true that you had your fiance's daughter and your lover? Is that true?
Absolutely not.
You're denying everything in your report?
There was nothing done that was not ethical.
Are you going to cooperate? Would you cooperate with an ethics investigation?
Have you spoken with the speaker about this?
Nope.
Did you give your mistress a job?
I did not.
Notice how he was strategically vague in his answers. I think this situation is just getting started, and this is a super important race for the Republicans because control of the House goes through seats in New York and California, and Mike D'Esposito is in one of those swing districts that could easily go back to the Democrats. And speaking of control of the House, another reporter asked Speaker Mike Johnson if he was defying Donald Trump, who demanded that the government be funded only if Republicans can get the SAVE Act passed. The SAVE Act is a bill that prevents non-citizens from voting. But the thing is, it already is illegal for non-citizens to vote. And that bill would just make it harder for certain people to vote in America. So Democrats are categorically against it. But Mike Johnson doesn't even have the votes among his fellow Republicans, so he's got to work with the Democrats, and that means scrapping the SAVE Act and just putting up a clean extension of the government's funding through December.
Mr. Speaker, have you spoken with former President Trump about this CR specifically, and has he approved it, given that he said he doesn't want a CR without the SAVE Act in it?
Yeah, no, what he was saying last week is the exact same thing that I was saying. He and I have been on exactly the same page. I saw a headline, I'm defying Trump. I'm not defying President Trump. I've spoken with him at great length, and he is very frustrated about the situation. His great concern is election security, and it is mine as well. It is all of ours. We are really seriously concerned about this, and we got to do everything that we can to ensure it. Congress, we passed the SAVE Act in the summer, and it's been sitting on Chuck Schumer's desk collecting dust. That is maddening to us. He understands fully, President Trump understands the current dilemma and the situation that we're in, and so there's no daylight between us, and I keep him apprised all the time of everything that's happening because he is our nominee for president, and he's going to be the next president. So we'll continue working closely together. I'm not defying President Trump. We're getting our job done, and And I think he understands that.
Speaker Mike Johnson is definitely defying Donald Trump, who demanded that the federal government be shut down if Republicans can't get the SAVE Act passed. And this all seems like a setup by Donald Trump and Republicans to try to claim that the election was stolen from him when he loses on November 5th. Speaker Johnson tweeted out the following last week after his SAVE Act went down in flames when he didn't have enough Republican votes to pass it. He said House Democrats voted against ensuring only Americans are voting in American elections. Why? They want to turn illegals into Democrat voters. He also posted a screenshot of a truth by Donald Trump that said the Democrats are talking about how they're working so hard to get millions of votes from Americans living overseas. Actually, they are getting ready to cheat. They are going to use UOCAVA to get ballots, a program that emails ballots overseas without any citizenship check or verification of identity whatsoever. Foreign interference? Remember, they say we have the most secure elections in history, and anyone can get a ballot emailed to them. They want to dilute the true vote of our beautiful military and their families, who Comrade Kamala has totally disrespected and abandoned. Republicans must act to stop them from stealing our military votes. Watch. Remember, if you vote illegally, you're going to jail. So obviously this stuff is nonsense from Mike Johnson and Donald Trump, but you can see that Donald Trump is trying to set the stage for why he's going to lose on November 5th. And there is valid concern that if Republicans are still in control of the House, then they will sidestep the Constitution and do whatever it takes to get Donald Trump into power. And that led a reporter to ask Mike Johnson if there will be regular order in the House if Kamala Harris wins and the election will be certified. And Mike Johnson's answer was quite alarming.
Speaker, do you commit to observing regular order in the certification process of the 2024 election, even if Kamala Harris beats Donald Trump?
Well, of course, if we have a free, fair, and safe election, we're going to follow the Constitution. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
You can see why his answer would raise some eyebrows. Well, who determines if we have a free, fair, and safe election? What if Mike Johnson and the Republicans think that there was some shenanigans and they don't agree with the results? Are they going to sidestep the Constitution? Or are they going to respect that the courts will hear out any concerns and then they'll deal with that and the states will certify their election results accordingly? It is concerning that Mike Johnson is playing along with Donald Trump and fanning the flames that there might not be a free and fair election. Now, I personally don't think the Republicans will be in control of the House on January 6th. That's because Congress changes hands to the 119th Congress on January 3rd. And I think Democrats have a great chance of winning the House of Representatives and holding on to the Senate, if not even picking up a seat or two, based on the latest polls. So we may not have to deal with this situation. That being said, it is alarming that Republicans are even going down this road. But hopefully, come November 5th, this will be the beginning of the end of this MAGA nightmare that America has been going through for far too long.